The Toronto Raptors certainly do deserve better from this narrative. Are they legit? Are they going to get over the hump this season? Here is the Toronto Raptors from the seasons that we will focus on. Firstly, I just want to acknowledge that Basketball Reference has those guys at the top as the all-time top 12 players. Can you, just follow me for a second. Compare that to, the Lakers and, the Celtics. I love Vince Carter. I'm okay with Calderon. I love Mo P. I love Doug Christie. I love Antonio Davis.
Doug Christie was a defender, man.
Doug Christie was a defender.
We all know the best Raptor of all time is DeMar DeRozan.
Is it?
USC Trojan. Fight on, brother.
It could be T-Mac for a minute.
You know what USC does? We produce professionals.
That's great, man. So here's what we are going to follow right now. Look at the highlighted areas for the Toronto Raptors, because every single year it's like, dude, this is it. We the North. We're going to do this. Drake's going to be courtside. He's going to talk smack to John Wall and company. This is going to be great. So let's go through those seasons. In the 2017 playoffs, when they lost to Cleveland, or excuse me, in the 2014 playoffs, 48 wins, 48-34.
Yep.
What happened? Well, they lost to Washington, actually. That's what occurred. Year through year through year, 49-33, and then they get bounced out of the playoffs the very next season. Every single year. They are always in the 40 to 50 wins. They are always at the top of the Atlantic, and then they get bounced out of the playoffs. Yeah, they've run into the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, fine, but you think that you're putting together this roster of these guys who many view as great, and then it suddenly doesn't work out in your favor. Yet this season, is it different? Is it going to be the same?
Yeah, it's different.
Really?
Yeah. Again, this is one of those teams that you make. There's not small differences, but you make different changes that aren't overhauls, and you continue their success. Obviously, there's success every year. No, not championship success. No, not even NBA final success. But you're in the playoffs and you run into certain teams that, as you said, they run into the Cavaliers, or they maybe shouldn't have lost to Washington. So there's the disappointment parts of it. But what you do is you find out those things that you did wrong, because you're there, and then tweak those and make it better. I think they've made those tweaks. They've developed players, as I've talked about already. DeMar DeRozan has developed his offensive game and also his assist ability.
DeMar DeRozan?
DeMar DeRozan.
Sure.
And that makes the team better. So to go with people who already they've already gelled to a large degree, because of course guys go in and out. I think Patterson's gone now too, right? Isn't he in OKC?
Patrick Patterson, yes.
Yeah, so guys go in and out, but then it's enough small tweak changes that I think it's enough. Now, I don't know. I'm not saying they're going to win NBA championships or anything this year, but
that's the goal.
Cool, but I think they're the favorite to go out of the East now.
More so than Boston?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think you're crazy. Why would they be the favorite over Boston?
Because they have a better record than Boston.
But hasn't that already shown that smoke and mirrors?
Actually, Boston won last night.
Doesn't matter about last night. We have a 4-year history of them being at the top or dueling with Boston for the top record in the Atlantic, and it doesn't matter.
I've never put much weight behind current sports seasons having any effect on previous ones, unless you won the last one. Then it means you have a good chance to win another one. But if you've lost and you made little changes or things like that, why does the season from 1987 have anything to do with 2018?
All right. Harsh example.
No, but people like to say stuff like that. In football, they go, oh, and they haven't won since 2001. These aren't the same guys on that team.
Those are the broadcasts that have been doing it. However, for these last 4 years, the core has been built around who? Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan. And they add the third piece like a revolving door. The problem is it keeps revolving. They never are set on getting that third star to go to Toronto. Great market. I like Dwayne Casey. I like the two guys that they have in Lowry and DeRozan as 2 stars. They need the third, and they need a great role player to be the 4th. I don't buy into this team. Every single, look, man, you can only go back to your ex so many times before she breaks up with you, and then you're like, this isn't working out. As NBA fans, we can't continue to go back to the ex-girlfriend that is the Toronto Raptors. If you fall for them, they're going to break your heart every single playoff.
Or you just don't try anymore and just sit on your ass in your house by yourself.
I'm not saying that.
Break up with your girlfriend and go, I wonder why I'm not meeting anyone. I'm not trying. No, you keep trying. You keep doing what's worked so far, you know?
Even if you suffer heartache after heartache after heartache, at some point you just check out.
I'm just saying, the Raptors fans have suffered less heartache than Memphis fans. Look what's Memphis doing.
Right, but at the end of the day, do you not view this, let's say tenure for the last, we'll count this the 5th year, as heartache and disappointment because you haven't gone to the finals? You've been a great regular season team. You made some deep runs in the playoffs unless you're playing somehow Paul Pierce and KG and the Brooklyn Nets and you lose in 7 games or you get swept by the Washington Wizards. I mean, don't you view this as disappointing considering they've been one of the best regular season teams for 4 years?
It's disappointing, but that doesn't mean you give up.
I'm not saying give up. I'm saying don't buy in.
So what do? What's not buying in mean?
Well, different perspectives. Are you saying from a Raptors fan's perspective or an NBA fan's perspective? I'm talking from an NBA fan's perspective. You can't hop off the ship if you're a Toronto fan.
But no, as an NBA fan's perspective, why can't they be the real deal? It's a different year.
I'll tell you exactly why. Much like the Indiana Pacers with Reggie Miller and Mark Jackson and Rick Smits. Much, number 45.
Austin Crozier.
That was later, but yeah. Much like the New York Knicks with Patrick Ewing and John Starks and Oak Tree and company, who did they run into every year in the playoffs?
The Bulls.
And who specifically?
Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen.
And we are having one of the best players of the same ilk as Michael Jordan currently. This is the Pacers and the Knicks all over again. Great regular season teams, gonna make deep runs until they run into David, because they're not the Goliath.
So the David is LeBron James?
Correct.
Because these Cleveland Cavaliers look so good this year. I mean, there's a thing.
We have no idea what they're gonna do right now. We have no idea what the Cavs are gonna do.
So in the past, Cleveland has the past 3 championships, the past 3 finals, they go to the championship. Does that mean they're gonna go this year? No, they look different this year. This year's different.
All right, what do you want to bet?
That what? That Cleveland's gonna go to the finals?
That Toronto's gonna go to the finals.
Well, it won't because of Cleveland. Like I said, the only hurdle is potentially Boston, but I still think they can beat them too.
All right.
But it's definitely not Cleveland.
I'm gonna make a wager with you off air, and then we'll tweet it on the TYT Sports account.